you think this is overconsumption, well, you and my mother both, okay? It's fine. Gowns, champagne, murder. I'm gonna give her another chance. Don't let me down, Catherine Center. Hopshit suit. Always down for a royal romance book. Hello everyone and welcome or welcome back. Welcome to one of my favorite videos to film throughout the entire year, and that is my summer book haul. I am so excited. Summer is my favorite time to be a reader. Summer books are always my favorite. I literally can't wait. As you can see, I have quite a lot. If you think this is overconsumption, well, you and my mother both, okay? It's fine. I always like to buy my books all at once. I'm not really a buy a book here and there kind of person. I buy in bulk apparently, and it's just my preference. It's okay. Plus this is going to keep me busy for most of the summer. I have 15 books here, which if I'm at my reading best, that'll last me for like a month and a half, so it's not too bad. It's a lot of books, don't get me wrong, but I will read them. These are all my beautiful books. I have all of my romance together, mystery, and then 2 historical fictions. And if you're thinking that fantasy is missing, well, that might just be coming later, potentially. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. But without further ado, let's get into the haul. I think I want to start with my romance stack because I'm probably most excited about this one. To kick things off, we have Heart's Landing by Melanie Harlow. This is a small town romance. This follows Mila. On the little top section it says, 4 friends made a promise to live one night like it was their last. That night changed everything. So 10 years ago, Mila left her hometown. It says she left behind a devastating fire, a stolen kiss, and a shattered circle of friends. But when a crisis brings her back, Mila just wants to get in and out, unscathed by her mother's constant criticism and unseen by her former crush, Everett McKean. But Everett is the town mayor, so cute, and so he's everywhere, and he has never stopped wondering about Mila. So it says, who's really responsible for the fire that destroyed the bakery, and will knowing the truth free Mila from the past or ignite a blaze that burns on the future she's trying to build? I actually found this book because it was in one of the magazines that we get, or kind of like a catalog that we get at the store every month, and this was on the cover of one, and I just thought it was so pretty. It has really, really pretty sprayed edges that kind of go along with the small town vibe, and it's really cute. Every time I do a haul, I end it with, I'm so excited to read this one. I need to learn how to say something else to end out the book with, but yes, I'm excited to read this one. I don't know. Next up, I have Royal Summer by Cass Morgan. I am always down for a royal romance book, and this one follows Hannah. She is supposed to be in Scotland for the summer, but her summer is about to go up in flames when she finds herself alone and unemployed before she can slink back to the US, where she'll need to focus on avoiding her former best friend and ex-boyfriend, a mysterious stranger, in parentheses, a tall, obnoxiously cute stranger, offers her a job at the royal family's castle in Inveresk. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but basically the stranger is Finian, the Prince of England. Anything with a prince or a royal family is automatically going to grab my attention. Most of these are new authors for me, except for my last 2. The rest of them, I've never read anything by them before, but the next one I have is The Summer Girlfriend by Christina Forrest. This is another one where the cover just immediately drew me in. I just think that is the prettiest cover. The sunset and the flower in her hair is so pretty. So it says, a fake summer fling between a stand-in girlfriend and a handsome business heir becomes way too real in this glittering new romance. So this follows our main characters Noelle and Jeremiah. Noelle is currently saving up to go back to college. She recently got laid off from her book selling job, and her main gig is now serving as a stand-in bridesmaid. Jeremiah is the grandson of the founder of Smith's Sweets, a well-known baked goods company, once lived a life of frivolity. Since his grandfather's death, Jeremiah has tried to clean up his act, but it's hard to focus when his family requests that he join them at their summer house in Hart Beach, New Jersey. To avoid going there, Jeremiah claims he already has plans with his girlfriend, and his family tells her to bring her along. The only problem is Jeremiah doesn't have a girlfriend, so Noelle, being a stand-in bridesmaid, is now going to be a stand-in girlfriend. I love fake dating. It's probably one of my top 3 tropes. I think this one sounds like a really cute summer romance. Alright, next up I have Pink Sand Summer by Chastity Evans. So this might actually be a independently published book. The way that I can normally tell is the back. Normally there will be a little bit more information on the back of a traditionally published book like the Christina Forrest one. This one is a Penguin Random House book, and so it has like their tag on it. This one doesn't. This just has the ISBN number on it. So I'm not totally sure, but I do think this is a independently published book. This one I actually did just buy based off the cover without even reading the back of it because it's just my perfect summer read, and it's a little short one too. So this says, escape to a tropical island where the sand is pink, the storms are set in, and the love stories are ... complicated. So this follows our main character Lucy. She is back on Harbor Island in the Bahamas. She has inherited her beloved Grand's house and is determined to find the inspiration she's lost in her life and her art. So we have a love triangle in this one. Lucy is faced with two major distractions, the alluring new guy Noah and her ex and first love Jack. So it says that she spends her summer going to exclusive parties, late nights with best friends, and moments with Noah and Jack. When a shocking secret comes to light, it's the reckoning she didn't know she needed. I just thought this one looked really cute. This cover is just absolutely perfect to me. I don't read a ton of independently published books, and so I was happy that I found one to throw in this haul. Next up, I have Pickleballers by Ilana Long. So this is actually a book that I had bought for the store. Every time I hold it up, my lighting goes dark, so I'm gonna hold it down here, but this is actually a book that I bought for the store and it never sold. I decided just to buy it myself to get it off the shelf basically, and I do think it's cute and I like the idea that it's a pickleball book, so I feel like pickleball is so popular right now. I'm not a super sporty person. I've tried to play pickleball. I can't claim being like an actual pickleballer, I guess, but it says a pickleball newbie looking to recover from life's swings and misses crosses paddles with love in this debut romantic comedy. I love a pun. That was like 3 puns in one sentence. So Meg is there's another one. Meg is in a pickle. When Meg's ex turns out to be a total player, she and her bestie take off. Oh my gosh, this entire like back section is just full of pickleball puns. I love this. It's supposed to be an easy lob, not the opening serve to a new courtside romance that's doomed to spin out. This is so funny. I love this. No matter how hard Meg tries, she can't shake her feelings for Ethan Fine, a charismatic environmental consultant and Bainbridge local. Ethan seems like the real Dill, D-I-L-L. When Meg discovers that Ethan is sabotaging her home court, she decides the match is over. It's time for Meg to take control of her own game, and maybe, just maybe, love will bounce back. Oh my gosh, I love this book even more now. I love a pun, and this was just full of pickleball puns. So I hope this is good. I'm still excited to read it. I don't know why it didn't sell. Maybe it's just not a super well-known book. All right, next up I have The Royals Next Door by Karina Hale, or Hall. So this is a book that I actually heard someone talk about years ago. It's not a new book. It's just been on my list for a while, and I said I just wanted to order it and put it on my list for the summer because it does look super cute and I love this cover. So it says, an ordinary summer goes royally awry when a prince and a princess move next door, bringing their handsome bodyguard with them. So this is also kind of a royal romance, but instead of falling in love with the prince, she falls in love with the bodyguard. So our main character Piper is an elementary school teacher by day, avid romance reader, and anonymous podcaster by night. She has a quiet, reclusive life taking care of her mother. So the royal family moves in next door to her, and the bodyguard decides that she is a threat for some reason. It says that each run-in with Harrison Cole is hotter and more confusing than the last. But beneath Harrison's no-nonsense exterior lies a soft heart, one that could tempt a woman who's sworn off attachments into believing in white knights. Part of me wants to say that it was Darling Desi who I saw talking about this, but I honestly can't remember. I do think it was her, and she obviously had good reviews for it. I'm excited to read it. I hope I like it. All right, and getting into my 2 books from authors that I already know, I have The Shippers by Catherine Center. So I've been on a little bit of a journey with Catherine Center. The Bodyguard by her is one of my favorite romance books of all time. I recommend it to everyone. I just love that book. I've reread it a bunch. I also read Things You Save in a Fire by her and really liked that one. Then I read 2 books by her back to back that I really didn't like. One of them I think I literally gave 2 stars, and I cannot remember for the life of me what they were called, but one was about an elementary school teacher and one was about a girl who ended up suffering from facial blindness, and the one with the elementary school teacher was just so dumb in my opinion, and the one with the facial blindness was just really hard for me to read. So I feel like I've been very hit or miss with Catherine Center books, so I'm hoping this will be a good one and it'll bring me back around because I haven't read her last 2 releases, The Love Haters or The Rom-Commers, but I just liked the premise of this one and I thought the cover was so cute. It kind of looks like Barbie, and I'm gonna give her another chance. Don't let me down, Catherine Center. It says she wants him to help her woo someone else. Genius, foolproof, can't go wrong. Our main character Jojo is about to go to her sister's wedding, which is a destination wedding on a cruise ship, and she has her sights set on the neighborhood guy who was her first crush and first kiss, who just happens to be a newly divorced wedding guest. And so she ropes in Cooper, who is her childhood best friend, to be her wingman. Cooper, who RSVP'd no but showed up anyway. Cooper, who moved to London without a word 4 years ago. Cooper, who broke her heart. So it's a childhood friends to lovers second chance romance with a little bit of fake dating. We got all of the tropes in this one. So we're giving her one more chance. Catherine Center, Don't Let Me Down. And then last book in our romance stack, we have Our Perfect Storm by Carly Fortune. I read One Golden Summer by her last year and really liked it. I didn't read Every Summer After, but I want to before I watch the TV show, even though I've heard it's kind of different. But anyway, this is her new one. I've heard great things about this one. 1 Week in Paradise to Heal a Broken Heart. It kind of reminds me of My Best Friend's Wedding. So Frankie and George have been best friends since they were 8 years old. It says they've always clashed and always come back together until now. It's the eve of Frankie's wedding weekend and she doesn't know where they stand or even if George will show up as her best man. But at the start of the festivities, in walks George. So everything's perfect for one night until her fiance leaves her at the altar the next day, leaving only a note as explanation. George has an idea to kind of lift her spirits and he decides that them two are going to go on her honeymoon to the lush rainforest and misty beaches of Tofino. Frankie agrees, seeing the trip for what it really is, one last chance to repair their friendship, even if it means unearthing secrets and long buried feelings neither knows how to handle, even if it means falling apart for good. I'm really excited about this one. I think I'm excited because I've heard such great reviews on it and I just love the concept so much. And even though it's not fake dating, it is still forced proximity, and the fact that they're childhood best friends are getting their second chance. We know they're gonna fall in love by the end. I'm excited to read this one. This one's definitely close to the top of my list. Alright, moving on to our next stack. This is all of my mystery books and then I have 2 historical fictions. So the first one we have is We Would Never Tell, and this is actually set in Cannes in the south of France. It says Gowns, Champagne, Murder. So this is basically following a group of girlfriends, 3 ambitious and talented young women who can't seem to climb up from the bottom rung of the Hollywood ladder. As they swirl in the glitz of Cannes, the VIP invitations seem so hard to come by and the A-list so far away. It's enough to drive them a little crazy, enough to make them snap and do things they might or definitely will regret. It's a good thing they're invisible until a multi-million-dollar necklace vanishes and a dead body is found in the Mediterranean Sea. So I'm excited about it. I am really excited about it being set at the Cannes Film Festival. I've never read anything like that before, and I love any sort of murder mystery set in a glitzy location. Alright, the next one I have is No One Aboard by Emily McGuire. So this one is about a billionaire couple, Francis and Lila Cameron. They set off on their private luxury sailboat to celebrate the high school graduation of their 2 beloved children. 3 weeks later, the Camerons have not been heard from and the captain hasn't responded to radio calls. The sailboat is found floating off the coast of Florida. Empty. Ooh, so scary. Where are the Camerons? What happened on their trip? And what secrets does the luxury boat hold? It says set over the course of their vacation and in the aftermath of the sailboat's discovery. No One Aboard is a delicious domestic mystery that asks what is more dangerous to a family, a stormy ocean or each other. Delicious domestic mystery. That's such a funny way to describe a mystery. The next book I have is The Vow by Stephanie London. This isn't a super new book, but I bought this because I just read The Dachshund Wears Prada by her and really liked it and wanted to read more by this author, and I went online to see what else she had written and saw where she had done a mystery book and it's set at a wedding. We're just gonna try it. It says, I vow to make you pay for what you did. 12 years ago, school friends Sophia, Ellie, and Rose made a vow. They promised never to talk about that fateful night, never to tell anyone what they did. They've kind of drifted apart, but they're all coming together for Ellie's destination wedding. It's meant to be the event of the season, but as things start to go wrong, they suspect someone is trying to punish them. But if the women took a vow of silence, how could anyone else know? And what lengths will they go to get their revenge? I feel like it's kind of a mix between The Hearth Landing and We Would Never Tell. Some sort of secret between a group of girls. I don't know why so many of my books are like that this summer. I am intrigued to see how her writing holds up in a mystery book setting and how different it's going to be from her romance books. The next one I have is The Butler by Claire McIntosh. Couldn't read that. This one is tiny. It's just a little novella. I think it's actually only 180 pages. My mom and I kind of switch off on who does the book club at the store every other month, and it's my turn to do it in July, and I want to do a mystery book, and so I ordered just one copy of this to look through it and see if I thought it would be a good book club book. It came in and I think that's way too short for book club. I would rather do a full mystery book, but I decided just to keep this one for myself anyways because this is also set in the south of France, but it's at a French villa. So it says a glamorous French villa, a carefully curated guest list, and a body in the pool. This is told from the perspective of Baxter, who is a professional butler, which I think is a really cool twist on it. So it says Baxter has a spotless reputation as a polished, well-mannered butler, and he has never run into any issues catering to the ultra wealthy until now. This actually also has to do with the Cannes Film Festival, which is funny. His latest assignment is Alec Prescott, who is hosting a colorful cast of characters, including his ex-wife, his much younger lady friend, and some Hollywood hotshots after the Cannes Film Festival. But it doesn't take long for a week of sun, wine, and a family birthday celebration to dissolve into bickering and backstabbing, and soon secrets aren't the only thing floating to the surface. When one of the guests is found dead in the villa's glittering pool, they turn to the unflappable Baxter to help determine who's responsible. A good butler is expected to see everything and say nothing, but what if he too becomes a target? I have never read a short story mystery book like this, so I'm very excited to see how she does it and how she's able to introduce and solve a mystery in so few pages, but we will see. Next, I have Valley of the Moms by Hannah Selinger. The top of this says Motherhood is Murder. This is one that I bought really based off of the cover because I just love that cover. I love the retro sunglasses and the swimming caps. I just thought that was a really cool cover for a mystery book. This says the Stepford Wives meets Big Little Lies in this twisty thriller that uncovers the untruths, petty grievances, and local school politics hidden inside a seemingly quaint small town. So this is about our main character, Anna. So at her kid's school, the school is on a tier ranking, and so you have to buy into certain tiers at the school to get all of the experiences. And it says that when Anna discovers that her second grader won't be able to attend the ZD with your sweetie school dance because it requires a premium membership, she snaps. She sends an email to the terrifying president of PTO and all hell breaks loose. 1 year later, Anna is found dead. Left to pick up the pieces, her husband Denny is shaken to his core. And so it tells the story in alternating timelines and point of views between Anna and Denny 1 year apart, like Anna dealing with the PTO and then Denny trying to solve her murder. So yes, I thought this sounded really intriguing. Again, just love this cover so much. It's so retro and so summery, and yeah, we will see. I'm excited to read it, like I said. Alright, our last two books are my two historical fictions for the summer. I had more that I wanted to buy, but I've been really bad about reading my historical fiction books this year, so I just decided to get two because I still have a lot that I need to read, but I love the concept of both of these. So last summer I read The Stolen Queen by Fiona Davis, which was a historical fiction set in Egypt. So when I saw that Marie Benedict came out with a book called Daughter of Egypt, I knew I wanted to get it because I loved the Fiona Davis one so much. It is a sweeping tale of a young woman who unearths the truth about a forgotten pharaoh, rewriting both of their legacies forever. So I think that this story is also told in two timelines, in the 1920s and then 3,000 years earlier. So what would that be, like 1000 BC? Is that right? I always say this pharaoh's name wrong, and what I thought was funny is that this is actually the same pharaoh that The Stolen Queen was based off of, and I cannot say this name right. Hatshepsut. That just sounds wrong to me. I don't know. I feel like I'm just not saying it right. But anyway, same pharaoh, different types of stories, because I believe this one is set in 1920s and then also when Hatshepsut was ruling in her point of view. I am so excited about this. I just love reading about Egypt. It's one of the places that is really high on my bucket list to go visit. Yeah, I don't even know what this is going to be about, but I'm just really excited that it's about the same pharaoh, but in the pharaoh's point of view. I just think that's so cool. And then last but not least, I have The Hope Keeper by Heather Webb. So this is all about the famous Hope Diamond. It's set in the Jazz Age of Washington, D.C. Elizabeth Beaumont comes from a renowned jeweler family, but after the untimely death of her twin brother, she's left on her own to run the failing family business. She approaches the affluent crowd to try to get more business for her jewelry company, and it says their ringleader is a wealthy socialite named Evelyn McLean, owner of the world's most infamous gemstone, remembered to curse all who travel within its orbit, the Hope Diamond. Elizabeth is swept into Evelyn's toxic world of dark opulence, the lines defining who she is and where she belongs beginning to blur. It says when tragedy strikes one night, not only Elizabeth's fragile friendship with Evelyn is put to the test, but her carefully constructed, glamorous new life comes crashing down. Now she must face the truth about her brother's death and decide what matters most. I love that we have a little bit of mystery. I love that it's fully set around the Hope Diamond. It just has such a cool history to it. Those are all of my books I want to read this summer. I have good hopes that I'll actually get through all of these. I do have a few more coming in that are new releases throughout the summer, but this is definitely the bulk of all my books, and I'm very excited to read them. You will definitely be seeing them in reading vlogs or just reading wrap-ups soon. Let me know what's on your reading bucket list this summer. If there are any books that I should pick up to add to my collection, please let me know. But that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video very, very soon. Bye!